It is cold at Amber Lake, and that means I am testing today at cold temperatures, a type of rig where it is exactly described that it's perfect for cold temperatures. And out here with the next fish. And I'm very curious what else will come in here. I am testing right now, nice and basic, on the simplest baits, a type of rig that is used almost never, and in fact, almost never's never for carp fishing. From time to time, you see this type of rig again and again for crucian carp fishing. For gibble carp and crucian fishing, it is sometimes used because with it, you can also complete a challenge with the maggot rig. And the maggot rig, we will take a closer look at it in a moment, a bit more detailed. And out with it again. Here on the rod, I have right now a comparison rig to be able to classify this a little bit. So I test here once with the pop-up rig, and then I have here twice. So both rigs or both rods here with the maggot rig in combination. And yes, both I also had at the beginning differently. So you can build the maggot rig. We take a quick look inside once together with pop-up corn, and on the other hand here with maggot or with caster. And right now I am at the maggot. With the caster, you can probably also quite well. However, maybe rather on other fish, maybe even something like ID, because especially caster and ID work also at low level again and again quite well. And if you then maybe combine that with a muscle aroma pop-up corn, then that can already work quite well. Right now, as I said, the combination with the maggot, because we also have in the original standard carp ground bait mix fly maggots inside. That means this here in my PVA bag is right now the original carp ground bait mix, as you can also very normally and basic produce it here under ground bait mixes. By the way, if you cannot use PVA and also want to test this, just make these balls here. I am fishing here right now only at 9 meters distance. That can be half loaded, fed quite easily, and already you can test the spot in the same way. So directly out again here to the 9 meters. Zach, nice and easy over there in front, and then keep trying. This whole thing today was written in the live stream by Fredika, and she said, try this spot here. Here it works really well on black currant, in the color yellow, however. And of course I did that. That means I have now once taken my test setup, I have simply taken black currant yellow with black currant dip. And because I'm here now, rather after big fish, I have in this case used a size 1-0 hook. If you are more after numbers, if you maybe want to bottom fish even more, then you can stand here, maybe with a size 4 hook or a size 1 hook. With that, you are then also really good in numbers. So this is how the net picture looks at the moment. I started in the night. There, unfortunately, of course, was not really much going on yet, but then in the morning hours, it slowly started. Then I changed the setup a little bit, took out the casters, so I then had 2 rods with the maggot rig and the fly maggot, and 1 rod with the pop-up rig. And so far, I have to say it works already quite well. That is not at all wrong. The sizes are also quite all right, and you could, of course, if it works so well, also modify it further. When we set up the maggot rig, we have here the information for what the rig is well suited and how it should ideally work. So we have here the information that the maggot rig is in use with maggot or with caster. So we have here the info, maggot or caster in combination with pop-up corn. It works on different grounds, which is also good, and it is particularly effective at cool temperatures. So that's the reason why I right now, because the water is cool, why I am right now testing the maggot rig. Here in this case, I build it a little smaller again, meaning I simply take a size 6 hook, also put on the artificial corn current, and now use here the larvae. Here, however, we could also change something again, and I will test that also again right away. Now right away with the other 2 rods, 5 larvae, 10 larvae, or 15 larvae. And we will now also simply start this here again in the test. So relatively small, 5 larvae, small hook, and then this combination. That goes out anyway first, also again to the easy 9 meters. And then comes here the next. We will also rebuild that one directly again. Okay, a bream, also interesting. Here I go now with a size 1 hook, Size 1 hook in combination with 10 larvae, so current 10 maggots, and the whole thing goes then also out again. And on the third combination, we do it then completely exaggerated big. Here we keep the size 1 0 hook, combined then here, however, the current with 15 larvae, and then the whole thing also goes out again without ground bait, because I think ground bait we have by now enough at the spot. So out with it. And now we have here once again a variation in the maggot rig combination between current yellow and the maggot and the ground bait, the basic ground bait. That one you could of course also rebuild again. That means if you have here the original standard ground bait mix as it is also specified by RF4, we could of course add here once again a current component, maybe once with the feed pellets. And with that, we would actually already have a sufficient ground bait combination. Especially in the last days, we are testing a lot the different ground bait mixes, and especially this basic ground bait has also recently, in the last live stream at Copper Lake, worked again excellently. Yes, so this is how it looks here right now with the maggot rig. I will just test a bit further. You also tested. How does it work for you? Which combination works for you? So 5 maggots, 10 maggots, 15 maggots, which works best for you? And of course, pay attention. Do you really have also cool temperatures in the water? Is this right now also the right situation for the maggot rig? If you are successful with it, gladly also write it into the comments, or of course also simply post in Discord. Link to the Discord is under the video, and then post there what has worked best for you. Well look, for me right now the first reactions here on 15 maggots, respectively on 10 maggots, also reacts right now. However, the fish are still really small so far. So not really the big fish that go in here yet, but at least the frequency is already there. Yes, so much here about the maggot rig. As said, simply test and try what works here. If you do not feel like it, or you maybe have not even unlocked the rig yet, then simply stand here with the pop-up rig. Go nicely for numbers. This here is one of the absolute classic spots. I have already shown it several times. There are also already many videos here on the channel about this spot. This is one of the important spots where you can again and again really well go for numbers. Test here in this case, definitely in the near shore area. You can also test it already rather at 6 and 7 meters, because then you are even closer in the shallow area, and then later you test, or an hour later you test, then at 9 meters, and later again maybe at 12 or 15 meters distance. All this works here at this spot excellently. One has again and again good results here. If the whole thing has helped, leave a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. That helps me a lot. And then we see each other in the next video. Until then, tight lines.